This is the Jayhawk Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
All right, back in the gym for high school basketball here on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Heartland Technology. I'm Nate Clayburgh, flying solo for the girls' game as Luke Baldwin is, I don't know what he's doing. You never know what the plan is or what I can publicly say or whatever it happens to be, but he'll be back, I would assume, next week as we return, but Jason Pilcher will join us for the boys' game when that comes up following, as he will put down the whistle and put on the headset for high school basketball tonight, as it's a boy-girl doubleheader, and it's a second round as we go around in the conference play. Sumner-Fredericksburg, the girls coming in conference play in the NICL East at 4-0, leading the league, and Jesup in that third spot at 2-2. And Jesup coming off a loss last night to West Delaware, 64-47 in an unusual Monday night game against 3A opponents. We'll talk to Coach Conrad about that at halftime of our boys' game as we'll reflect on that game, games from last week, as well as how tonight's game does come out. So Luke Baldwin is joining in as he has his feet up and kick back watching on the Jayhawk Sports Network on YouTube, I imagine. Starting lineups happening very shortly as Dan Fox, our public address announcer, will have it for you right now.
Jesup High School welcomes you to tonight's basketball games. A special welcome is extended to our guests from Sumner-Fredericksburg High School. Jesup High School proudly supports and practices good sportsmanship by supporting your team, respecting the abilities of the opposition, and the decisions of the officials. You can create an environment that is reflective of the community. Be a class act, be a good sport, be a winner in the game of sportsmanship. Please welcome tonight's game officials: Andrew Jacobson, Mike Jacobson, Blaine Johansson. Now the starting lineup. For Sumner-Fredericksburg, a senior, number 10, Olivia Lang. A junior, number 12, Jana Meyer. A junior, number 32, Olivia Seahawk. A senior, number 42, Abby Zawel. A junior, number 44, Isabel Elliott. The Cougars are coached by Kevin Bergman, Macy Nuss, and Lonnie Schultz. And now, for our Jayhawks, a senior, number 5, Lee Pilcher. A sophomore, again, Peyton Moon. A sophomore, number 14, Peyton Youngblood. A senior, number 24, Sailor Youngblood. And a junior, number 32, Adriana Bolden. The Jayhawks are coached by Jordan Conrad, assisted by Jason Pilcher, Roger Oberhauser, Taylor Sickles, Bruce Wall, and Erica Bass. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we honor our nation and flag while paying respect to our men and women in uniform around the world who protect our liberties and way of life with the playing of our national anthem.
right, the national anthem played by the Jesup High School Pep Band under the direction of Ms. Truax. As we are set for high school basketball, and Sumner-Fredericksburg coming in with a record of 4-0 in the NICL East and leading that division as we talked about. Overall, they are 8-3. Jesup 7-6 under the direction of head coach Jordan Conrad. 2-2 in conference play here in Class 2A. Head coach is Kevin Bergman for the Sumner-Fredericksburg Cougars. These two have, like we said, faced off earlier in the season against each other. Sumner-Fred picked up that win back in December, 55-47 up at Sumner. Jesup does trail overall, at least in the history we have, of 17 games. In the last 17 games, Sumner has picked up 12 of those wins. Sumner-Fred started things off with the possession, and we will see a foul committed against from Jesup against the Cougars, as that's the first personal foul against Sailor Youngblood and the first for Jesup. And a high shot, bounce off the back of that rim, no good. And follow through. Give credit to Elliott. She's right there for the rebound and the put up. And Sumner-Fred, first one of the book with 2 points. 7:19 to go as we see Adriana Bolden, junior on this squad, missing that first attempted shot for Jesup. And Sumner-Fred working back towards there under the floor, towards that north basket here in Jesup. And an outside shot from Myers, going to go through that net, and it's a 4-0 ball game. Peyton Bowes running that one spot on the guard end for Jesup. Reset this offense with 30 on the shot clock as that got reset on that shot. And Lady Pilcher, who's been leading this team in scoring, she gets her first shot of the night, and that will take her field goal average down. And she came in tonight 49.1% from the field. And the outside shot from Sumner is going to give them a 6-0 lead and 4 points total for Meyer. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Coach Jordan Conrad hit the pause button here. If we continue to see missed shots and points coming up from Sumner-Fred. But the advantage comes your way with Jesup finally, as Adriana Bolden is fouled. And that's the first personal foul for Lang and the first team foul for the Cougars. Adriana's first on the board for Jesup on that free throw. See if she can solidify that to 2 at the charity stripe, and she does. We'll see some changes on the court as Emma Bowes will come in and Adriana Bolden will sit down. Emma Bowes has lately seen quite a bit of playing time as a freshman coming off that bench. As Coach Jordan Conrad has worked her in the system, as Olivia Nesbitt is out for the season with injury. So he's gone further down his bench to look for some support. As we see Peyton Youngblood also continues to be in the game as a sophomore. This is a young squad that Coach Conrad has and will continue to develop. As Laney's first basket is good, and she'll try again, and we'll get Cole to the free throw line to see if she can make this a tie ball game from the free throw line. Drop that ball in for the first free throw. As we see Scout Cohagen come off the bench, Peyton Youngblood will have a seat. And traditionally we see Coach Conrad go about 3 or 4 deep on that bench. And so far, still waiting to see, actually no, as I look down, we do see Sage Bain, another sophomore, come off that bench in a substitution role. Outside shot does get missed by Seahawks. Cougars hang on to possession. Zabel should get a missed shot. Pull that down from Bose. There's Pilcher, cross timeline, cross court. Bain gets her fingers on it, and now Peyton Bose will try and set up this offense. As Emma Bose will kick it back out to her sister Peyton. That one's going to be short. Scout Cohagen right there. She'll kick it back out to the top of the arch, reset that shot clock. And that ball's going to get stripped out of Laney's hands. No whistle. Scout luckily right there to grab it and get things back going. Watching their time inside that orange paint. Number of shots put up. Unfortunately, missed shots as Jesup looking to get their first lead as we see a jump ball. It will be Jesup's as Scout Cohagen gets challenged. Sailor Youngblood, Adriana Volvin back in for the Jayhawks. Youngblood set with that inbound, looking for an opportunity. And I think it was intended for Cohagen. And that turnover will have the Cougars looking to take back a lead. And that one is up, and nice shot for Lang. Keeps them in it. And over it on a three-point attempt is what they're going to give her on that, 3 points. Looked like she was on the line, but. Left-handed dribble by Meyer, taken away by Pilcher. Drives the lane, backboard is where it hits. Bolden with the rebound. Sailor finally will make it happen. Sailor in the scorebook as head coach Kevin Bergman would like a timeout. 30-second timeout. 3:28 to go in this first quarter. Video board up and going in the background tonight as they are giving accolades to the Booster Club supporters that they did a nice little drive, I guess, a fun drive here this last few months. As you see, Buchanan County Health Center part of that, along with Independence Plumbing and a number of businesses and even individuals stepping up to support not just athletics, but the arts and after prom here through the Booster Club at Jesup. Outside shot comes up. There's Sumner-Fred continue to build on their margin. Jesup applying some defensive pressure. Doing some double team. Triple team down low, covering on Elliott. And that pressure and movement will give Seahawks her first basket. It's a 14-8 ball game. And Sumner-Fred had Jessup's number. Back into Cimarron they played, but Laney Pilcher, she gets the ball and goes right for it. Get them to double numbers and get Laney to 4, actually 6 total points right now. Peyton Youngblood, a little light touch, right hand, enough for a whistle. Sumner-Fred again with that ball. Meyer takes a deep 3. Rebound off of Youngblood, right in the hands of the Cougars. They'll miss his shot. Laney will get it. She'll slow things down. See an open Sierra Youngblood. And now Peyton tries a three. Peyton Bowes with a nice recovery on a rebound. A little give and go inside from Youngblood to Youngblood. One thing this team does have is a lot of Youngbloods and a lot of Bowes. And a lot of Peytons. Keeps things interesting, at least from the announcer's standpoint. And hopefully enough to not confuse you out there watching and listening. Sailor Youngblood. Chance at the free throw line here with 1:38 to go in the first period. Dings the front off of that rim. Thank you, everybody, joining in on the Jayhawk Sports Network tonight, either watching on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. This free throw is going to take Sumner-Fred back towards that north basket. Lang, little push into Zabel. Going to be short on that. Gets saved from out of bounds. Sumner-Fred will respond and get 2 more points on their side of the scoreboard. Stolen and a fast break. Sumner-Fred doesn't convert on the first shot, but they will convert on that second one with here less than a minute to go. 8 total points now for Lang. Olivia Lang, a senior, 5'6" guard, been averaging 7.6 points per game. Isabella Elliott, number 44 down there. She's got some height, 6'1". She's been averaging almost 20. Foul situation will bring Laney out. That's her first personal foul. Cohagen, Bain, Emma Bowes, Peyton Bowes, Peyton Youngblood all in the game. Little double dribble. Didn't look right. Official kind of hesitated for just a moment. See if he saw that correctly. And now see if Jesup can hang on to this last shot. Shot clock is off. Peyton Bowes comes right side. Peyton Youngblood is available, but Bowes tries for a long three. Emma Bowes finds the rebound, tries to get it to Scout Cohagen. And now Sumner-Fred. Big three opportunity right before the buzzer. Gives them a 21-10 lead here in this first quarter as we see first quarter points, 11 total for Olivia Lang. Again, Jesup rewinding back to December the 6th when they lost 55-47. Jesup had the lead in that first quarter, 18-17. A tougher second quarter put them down at half, 30-23. And Jesup did have the advantage in that fourth period, but it wasn't enough. Somewhat of a tight game, 55-47. Again, that final as that was just early on in December. Laney at that point was averaging, actually in that game, she had 30 points, was 11 of 24 from the field, 4 of 7 from the arch, 4 of 5 at the free throw line. Isabella Elliott, who only has one, actually only 2 points to her score sheet so far back in that game in December. Led in scoring with 19 points for the Cougars, 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from the arch. Laney Pilcher tonight comes into this game averaging 25.4 points per game. But Lang is having a night for Sumner-Fred. She's only been averaging 7.6 points per game and has well surpassed that just through the first quarter as Peyton Bowes does respond. as she hits a big three and moves Jesup a little bit closer. Needs some of those big shots to play some catch-up as the ball comes out, and it will be Jesup's on that missed shot. Peyton Bowes at that one spot. Offense goes into motion. Peyton Bowes, one of the 5 starters on this team that are in right now, as Lainey Pilcher gets point number 8. Peyton Youngblood, Adriana Bolden, Emma Bowes, Lainey Pilcher, Sailor Youngblood all in. Do have Westendorf off the bench from Sumner-Fred in this game for the Cougars, and head coach Kevin Bergman. Lob over to a wide open Peyton Youngblood. That lined up on a rail, dropped it through the net. 25-18, 2 3-pointers early on in this second quarter. Elliott looks to double on Hurst points. Again, she's been averaging almost 20 a game, 56% shooter, and Emma Bowes. Back-to-back shots for her, 3 points each, takes her to 6, and tightens this score up 25-21. Peyton Bowes, what did I say? Well, I was half right. Not Emma Bowes, but Peyton Bowes. Stand corrected. I'm sure Coach Conrad's just trying to tame some of this energy and excitement as Elliott finally gets to that hoop to double where she's at, sitting at 4 points now. And she will take that ball back as Sailor Youngblood had that ball intended for her. Lang at that guard spot. Off to Westendorf, takes a 9-footer, no good. Actually about 11-footer. Jesup can't get a hand on the rebound. Sumner recovered it. And then Jesup gets it back, and I think Adriana Bolden will be the one that gets fouled. That'll be the second personal foul for Meyer. 4th team foul for the Cougars. 5:03 to play, first half. Elliott finds some openings as she's trying to build on her scores. Volker in there right now for Sumner-Fred. Lainey Pilcher getting her second personal foul. Jesup's 15th foul. Possession arrow after the quarter went back to Jesup. As Volker, Brielle Volker, a sophomore, 5'8", gets her first free throw. And will hit the back-to-back to make it 29-21. Scott Cohagen with a double team, has to force that shot out, almost taken away. Peyton Bowes gets the handle on it. And now Laney trying to get past that zone, opens up another 3 opportunity for Bowes. Bain had a chance at the rebound, gets knocked out of her hands. Remains Jesup ball at that south end of the floor. 4:05 to go first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk to head boys basketball coach Joe Smines. Talk about games from last week, preview tonight's game against Sumner-Fred. Maybe get a mid-year athletic director's evaluation where the sports teams are at. So there was some softball players in the Jack here earlier tonight doing some batting practice. So believe it or not, that's going to sneak up on us. Sumner-Fred with a big shot continues to build that lead, 32-21 now. As Elliott, who only had 2 points in that first quarter, now is at 11. And Jesup keeps trying to chip away at it as Lainey Pilcher will go to double numbers at 10. Again, she's been averaging 25.4. She had 30 the last time these two met. Ball gets taken away. Emma Bowes, 1-on-2, and going to get caught in the lane, and that ball turned back over to Sumner-Fred. Seahawks will dish in to the 6'1 center. Elliott misses that shot. Cougars hang on to it, and a whistle blown. And we'll see a two-shot attempt from Volker. She's already hit a couple. Continue to build on that. Peyton Youngblood in for Emma Bowes. Back of the rim, drop it in. Peyton Youngblood got a good handle on the dribble. Misread where she needed to pass that. Turn it over to Sumner-Fred. Deep shot, no good. Lainey right there to grab that rebound. Forced down underneath, and Peyton, Adriana Bolden catches it, gets it through the hoop, and draws the foul. And Coach Jordan Conrad would like a timeout. Jesup having a good run right out of the gates with some three-pointers they needed and key plays. Really tightened up that margin against Sumner-Fred. And then Sumner-Fred found their way back and made the shots consistently, got the turnovers. Sitting with 2:02 to go here in this first half. 34-25. Jesup leading scorer is Lainey Pilcher with 10 points. Adriana Bolden set her up as Jesup now with 16 fouls does put Sumner-Fred in the bonus. Bolden's free throws get in there. Again, Bolden was the first to score in this game, and that was with free throws. High shot into Elliott. Trying to relay that down the floor here in under 2 minutes. Sumner-Fred appearing to really move that ball quick. Get that in the basket. See if Jesup on that turnover can take advantage of it. Bain had a touch on it. Peyton Youngblood saves it from out of bounds. And now Peyton Bowes tries for another three. Again, Isabel Elliott, the junior, 6'1", leading scorer, pushing almost 20 points. Only had 2 in that first quarter, sitting at 11 now. As Sage Baines trying to give her a challenge off that lower block. Outside shot, 7-footer, no good for Seahawks. Actually, for Zabel, Jesup will miss a shot here under a minute. .25 on that shot clock, about a 10-second differential. A little misstep on that dribble. Laney will grab hold of it. Open on the right side, but Peyton Bowes, wow. Contested, but no whistle. Sumner-Fred will have that back under 30 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. And a foul on that far side. That'll be Laney's third personal foul here in this first half. 17 foul for Jesup. And that will place Lang at the free throw line. Cohagen comes in. Sailor Youngblood, Laney Pilcher sitting down. Emma Bowes in. First one drops through. And Lang has been key in the scoring tonight with 9 total. Kind of set the pace early on for the Cougars. Second one drops in there. 2 players in double figures. Jesup back to that 10-point margin as they try and play some catch-up. And that's going to count against Jesup and send things back in the other direction. Jesup will bring out the pressure on defense for the inbound. Lang across the timeline, covered by Bowes. Looking for an opening. 2 seconds, shot down low as we close out. Elliott will end the half. 38-26, Sumner-Fred in the advantage, and 13 total points for that junior. All right, we head into halftime as we bring in head basketball coach Joe Smines. And Coach, Sumner-Fred, we're starting to come around again on the second round of these conference games. Just talk about this second part of the season as you're seeing some of these teams you've already seen once, you're seeing it again.
Seeing Sumner for the second time here. Really not a lot different with them schematically, offensively and defensively. They're kind of who they are. Motion offensive team and defense, kind of mixed defenses, trying to be physical with you. The one thing I would say about them is their personnel has been a little different. They've started about 7-8 different guys this year. They've had many as 12 guys playing varsity games within meaningful minutes. So in terms of scouting reports, a little funky because, not quite sure who's going to be out there for them on a consistent basis. But, they're a team that's won 2 out of 3 since Christmas, and their loss was to GR, which was a close game until the fourth quarter. So, we'll have to be ready to go tonight. But we feel like we're familiar with what they do schematically and all those things, so our guys should be ready.
Well, let's go back. We haven't talked since the new year came in, and you had a couple home games with wins, but last week a couple losses on the road, and, recovering from that. And, Friday, that was a quiet bus ride home.
Yeah.
But, I guess coming off of last week, how do you catapult into this week with a positive nature?
Yeah, it was a tough week. We knew we had a tough week going into it with Hudson, who was a really good basketball team. We played an outstanding first half versus them on last Tuesday, and then just did not play well in the third quarter, got way down and came back and made it a game at the end, but just didn't play well enough for 4 quarters. And went over to Wapsie, which was the big game of the week. Both teams are 3-0 in the league, and it was a typical Wapsie-Jesup game, physical, hard-nosed. We just didn't make enough shots late in the ball game. We had a 5-point lead with about 2 minutes to go and couldn't close the door on them. So great high school basketball game. Saturday morning our guys were okay, and then yesterday I thought we had a good practice with our varsity guys. So guys, we know there's a lot to play left out there to play for. And at this point last year we were 6-5. So, we're in fine shape. Just got to keep getting better, keep pressing along with what we got to do to keep winning games, and starts tonight. Yeah,
when you look at the health of your team, really one obvious is help me here.
Jack Miller.
Well, as far as the health of the team.
Oh, yeah.
when you look at Vogel
Yep.
and him going down that first week back, you've had to make some adjustments, because I know you were excited about where he was at and how he's going to contribute this season, and then that got pulled out from him.
Yeah, that was a tough way to start break. He gets hurt literally 3 or 4 minutes into the Grundy Center game, and that's really changed our dynamic a little bit. Instead of playing 7 guys, now we're playing 6. It's a hard way to play. So we had to be careful with some things. Guys stay out of foul trouble. Guys are playing more minutes. If they stay out of foul trouble, Jacob has done a nice job in the last 3 ball games. He's playing a little bit more than he's used to. So he's still trying to get himself a little bit more in that 20-minute category for him. He did a nice job for us on Friday night. We expect big things out of him as we go here. We got to have him off the bench for us. And like I said, it's all about staying out of foul trouble for us. We cannot get in foul trouble with only playing 6 guys. So that's the combination. We still want to play fast. We still want to get up and down. We still want to trap, but we got to do it smartly.
Shot clock. We haven't talked about that at all. So the big change this year was adding in the shot clock. I guess from a coach's standpoint, and it's something I know you knew it was coming. You didn't just say, here you go.
Right.
I guess talk about that adjustment this season with having that.
Going into the year, I really didn't quite know how we'd implement it into practice, how we'd play into games. I would say for the most part, the games haven't been overly impacted by it. Maybe late in the game a little bit. I thought Wapsie game came into play a little bit. In a normal situation, we maybe not have shot as quickly as we did. And we're still trying to learn how to play through, how to coach through it in a game. It's a little, when to go, when should we hold, let it run down under 10 before we make offense. So we're still trying to work through all those things along with everybody else's. But in terms of gameplay, it's been totally fine. We haven't really impacted us offensively at all. I think we've actually probably had, given some teams 6 or 7 violations this year on shot clock violations. I think we had 3 versus Sumner-Fred the first time we played them. They did on offense. So otherwise, it's been pretty smooth transition for us, and we still got some things to clean up at the end of games or in the halves with the shot clock. But I think we're getting better at it as we go.
Yeah, it's early on, and even from the athletic director's standpoint, you had to bring that in. You had to find somebody to run it. You had to get some of the glitches worked out of it early on. But I feel like it's, opponents or even fans have been all right with the adjustment of what needs to happen.
Yeah, I think every game has been pretty smooth. We've had a few glitches here, and I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure it's a user error. I don't think it's user error at all. It's just the glitch. And the last time we played at Sumner, the thing wasn't hardly working. It wasn't matched up with the time. But I think as we've gotten into the season here, you haven't noticed as much issues with it. And thank all the volunteers at every school for doing that because it's not an easy job to run the shot clock for a basketball game. I used to do it at UNI when I was a manager at practice, and it's tough. So we think Micah Munson does ours here at home games, does a great job, and I know on the road it's people are doing it consistently well, and that goes a lot to show about the NICL conference and the volunteers we have to make our events run smoothly.
Well, we're at the point of the season where it's starting to wind down. Look at the end of January and the playoffs or the postseason's showing, and then you've got the approaching snow that could mess up some wrestling on Thursday. I don't think it will, but it's at this point from an AD's perspective. Talk about the seasons that you're seeing for these squads.
Obviously, our wrestling. I want to start with the wrestling program. They've really had a nice season this year. I'm not sure what their dual record is specifically. It's 16-4, 16-5, something along those lines, and they put themselves in the rankings. Or on the verge of the rankings, maybe get themselves into a regional duel.
Yeah, they were getting some votes.
And honestly, Coach Gross and myself think they should be higher up than what they are. But they got a couple weeks yet to get that done. They go to Dyke on Thursday.
It's not where you're at; it's where you finish.
Exactly right. And then on Thursday, go to Dyke. Friday, Saturday, they go to OABCIG out in Western Iowa for a 2-day tournament. So,
but can you give me all those? Can you tell me what that stands for?
Odie Bolt, Arthur, Battle Creek, Ida Grove. My in-laws are from Odie Bolt, so I've been to that part of the state a few times actually. So, but the wrestling program's done a nice job. They're on the upward swing. Hopefully, we can get them, finish well here and get some guys, get the team duels, and then hopefully get some guys to state. So, and then girls basketball, they started off a little slow after Christmas. Had a good week last week, and hopefully we can get back going tonight. So, yeah, you're right. It's coming fast and furious right now. This is our 11th game or our 12th game of the year for basketball. I still feel like we're trying to find ourselves a little bit in some things, and some of that's with injuries and some of that stuff. But I feel like this is a big week for our boys basketball program to see if we can get our legs underneath us and get 3 wins here.
I guess from the coach's standpoint, from the AD standpoint, when you look at, we talk a lot about our varsity teams, but you got those ones that are coming up and aspire to be here from JV to fresh soft to middle school. Talk about those programs.
Yeah, our JV fresh soft, they do a good job. They work hard. Sometimes those levels get thrown around a little bit because you don't know who you're playing against. Sometimes the guys play one night, they don't play the next night against teams we're playing. In practice, where it's all about getting the varsity ready to play for the varsity game, but we're trying to develop those guys' skills. So, those guys get thrown in some tough spots sometimes. I really like our lower level. They come to practice every day, work their butts off, and we see guys that are ready to make the next step, hopefully, as we go here. And then on the middle school level, the boys started last week with games. Middle school boys, middle school girls were before Christmas, and wrestling was before Christmas. So those things are, middle school. We're a split season conference. I'm not a huge proponent of that, but that's what we do. But
that's relatively new, right? For Jesup, is that aspect of it?
Yeah, it's an NICL thing, so we're required to do it now for another 2 years after this. But so the boys just started playing actually, which is kind of weird. But, that's how it goes.
So, I guess it gives these kids a chance to get exposure to different opportunities, right?
Yeah, boys can wrestle before Christmas and play basketball after, and girls could do the same thing. We didn't have any girl wrestlers this year. Actually, we had one, but she wrestled with the boys because she was the only one. But, some schools in our league actually have middle school girls wrestling, have 20 girls out. So we don't have that, but yet at least, who knows?
Yeah. Well, Joe, thanks for coming up at halftime. And
where's Luke at tonight?
Luke's under the weather.
I thought maybe he was on the African safari looking for elephants or making butterscotch cookies for everybody.
He's under the weather, so he hopefully will make his way back.
Soft. Luke, you're soft.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Joe, thanks for coming up. Head coach Joe Smines on our halftime show. All right, back after halftime as, again, thanks to head coach Joe Smines for making his way up to the upper patio here in Jesup as Jayhawks right off the bat get 2 points, making it a 38-28 game as Lady Pilcher, first one to score. 38-28 as we said, and Sumner-Fred coming right back out of the gate with Elliott, who's leading that team with 13 points, trying to see if they can build. See our first whistle, this time against Sumner-Fred. Adriana Bolden gets that free throw, does roll up and in. Give her credit on that. Just underway, second half. And Adriana, 6. Actually, I believe that is, a total of 6 free throws tonight that she has made for this squad. First to score in this game, and Cougar leading scorer, Elliott, builds on her total in that turnaround jumper right side. Youngblood hit 2 of those key 3-pointers in the first half that really tightened up the margin in the second quarter come out of the gates. And continues to put them up, knowing she can drop them. Now Peyton Youngblood gets inside. Back the other way, just again, still a 10-point margin. Jesup down 21-10 at the first quarter, 38-26 at half. Sumner-Fred, I wouldn't say struggling. They're finding a little harder to find a basket here as we get into the second half. Seahawks on the dribble. Swing it over to Meyer. A little lob in to Elliott and a whistle down low. And Lainey Pilcher had 3 personal fouls coming into this second half, and that's going to put her at number 4. And you can see the frustration on her face as Emma Bowes will have to come in and relieve her. And that's a tough situation for that senior leader on this team to have 4 personal fouls this early in the second half. Rely on the freshman to come in with Emma Bowes, try and offset the gap we're going to see with Laney on the bench. Again, Laney has been averaging over 25 points a game. Sitting with just 6 right now. And Peyton Bowes looking for a key opportunity on the inbound. And the ball almost taken away. Jesup will recover. Very young team on the floor right now, with the exception of Adriana Bolin, who's a junior. Peyton Bowes, Peyton Youngblood, and Sage Bain, all sophomores. And Emma Bowes, a freshman on that floor. Ball out of bounds will be Sumner-Fred. Nice interception, taken away with Bain. Jayhawks back the other way. Bolden Olalabian's going to get taken away from Cohagen, and we will see jump possession be Sumner-Fred. As that switched back at halftime towards the visitors' side. Outside shot, Sumner-Fred, Meyer misses that. Adriana, triple team, sees that ball stolen away. And really both teams, I wouldn't say necessarily sinking as we saw them play in that first half. Shot blocked by Bolden, and almost some frustration on Seahawks' face. As a jump possession, we'll have Jesup work from the south to the north. Key story in this second half is that leading scorer in senior Lainey Pilcher, who has 12 points. He is on the bench with 4 fouls. Open shot left side, Lang. She can't get it, but Emma Bowes, aggressive underneath. Brings that left-handed dribble down that far side. And Sumner-Fred doing an excellent job in that 2-3 zone. Preventing Jesup from getting in, and Nice cover by Bowes as that ball got loose. 9 on the shot clock. Peyton sees that, or actually Saylor sees that. Take the shot. Hits the rim as the buzzer sounds. A lot of pressure trying to get that up in a nick of time. And a timeout is wanted. And Coach Jordan Conrad wants a full timeout as Coach get that clipboard from Coach Oberhauser and some discussion with Coach Pilcher to decide where some things can evolve with this team here as we've got 2:53 to go in this second quarter. Looking ahead to events this week here at Jesup High School, of course, approaching winter weather has people questioning where some things will be as far as school on Thursday or whatever, but I imagine we will know more as the evening progresses tomorrow. So watch social media, watch your text. Your phone may ring as well, if not Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Good luck to district. Good luck to the speech team as they have their district large group over at Cascade this Saturday. So that will start evolving. You know, individual practices are starting as Annika Wall, an alum of this squad, or this school, has taken over leadership duties on the speech squad for the high school. Sumner-Fred on the inbound. Give credit to Isabella Elliott. 6'1", hard to challenge her inside there as she's got a total of 17 points now. Youngblood push into Bolden, who pushes it to Saylor Youngblood. Big three from Bowes. Count that in there. That's the third three-pointer for Peyton Bowes. Take her to 9 total. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the third period. Ball is loose. Sumner will hang on to it. 19 on the shot clock. And ball out of bounds back towards Jesup, towards that north basket. Under 2. Good crowd on hand for the Jesup Jayhawks. Good student section. It's an exciting game coming up with the boys. Here following this one, it's a whole new link for the boys game on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So you'll need to refresh that when we close out. Peyton Youngblood has a handle on it. 7 seconds to go. Another three from Bowes. 4 3-pointers for Peyton Bowes. 42-36, 6-point margin. Now we're seeing some coordination from Jesup and where they need to be offensively, defensively, in the wake of Lainey Pilcher with 4 fouls on the bench. And your leading scorer has 25 a game. Sometimes that's your best defense, is to try and shut that leading scorer out with fouls. We've seen that on the boys' side with Jack Miller. Sumner-Fred did that same type of thing up at their place back in December. Ball loose out of bounds. It will be Cougar ball. Shot clock is off. 34 seconds to go. Third period. Across that timeline, Sumner-Fred and Westendorf. A little conservative here. Again, they've got that lead since early on. Jesup was able to tie it up at 6, but then Sumner-Fred took it from there and has maintained it. Peyton Youngblood tried to steal that away. Last second shot comes up, and Meyer will lean in to get her 6 points for Sumner-Fred and make it a 46-36 game. Jesup had the advantage in that score-wise as they outscored the Cougars by a 10-8 margin in that third period. Again, not very heavy scoring. A lot of attempts, unfortunately, a lot of missed shots as well. Looking this week, the rest of the week on the high school schedule. No events scheduled for Wednesday. Take us into Thursday. We'll see with this approaching potential storm what this could mean for high school wrestling over at Dyke New Hartford. On the varsity end of things, junior high basketball in action on the boys' side, as Coach Smines talked, that they begin their season here recently. They will be at Gladbrook Rhinebeck to face GR. And then on Friday, pack up the bus, and boys-girls basketball will head over to Dyke New Hartford. JV and as well as boys 9th and 10th grade will play. Boys junior high will host North Lynn in this gym. And then on Saturday, we will see wrestling. Actually, wrestling Friday, Saturday heads over to Ida Grove in the western part of the state for a big wrestling tournament over there that they've been invited to be a part of. And boys JV varsity basketball, they travel over to Ackley to face AGWSR as that closes out the week on the schedule. Jesup responding as they needed to. Give them credits. As we've got some players picking up the slack. Seven minutes to go, and Sumner-Fred challenged on the offense and commits a foul in the defense. And that will be Elliott's second personal. Adriana Bolden last to score for Jesup as she's now with 9. And as we're in the fourth period, imagine Laney is going to play a little conservative when it comes to defense. And sitting with 4 personal fouls. All the starters are in for Jesup and Sumner-Fred. Peyton Youngblood, strong right-handed dribble. Get it to Sailor Youngblood. Tries to find Adriana inside. Laney forces one up, 10 feet out. And I'm Nate Clayberg here on the Jayhawk Sports Network. Anthony Baugh, Eric Clark on the controls and camera tonight. Luke Baldwin on the DL. Hopefully get him back here on our next broadcast. Jason Pilcher make his way up here for the boys game. Another basket for Elliott. Take her to over 20 now at 21. As Laney's in the paint, force up a right-hander, gets it to drop, and draws the foul. Good to see you. Good following tonight on our YouTube channel. Over 100 tuning in from wherever, I guess. Be interested to see if you want to put in the chat where you're following tonight from and who you're following. I always like to check in on that. Got grandparents and warmer clients that are following along. Know that for sure. Cross court, Sumner-Fred, outside shot, smooth in for Meyer. Give her 8 total right now. 50-41. They wouldn't put Jesup out of this just yet. As Laney continues to fight towards her game average of 25. And 4 personal fouls. Gave her something to think about on the bench for the most of the third period. And wide open baseline, Meyer follows it up again. She's in double numbers. Jesup has allowed 3 Cougars to get double numbers. Laney finds it, turnaround jumper. Nice shot. As she pushes 20. Nice defensive coverage, Peyton Bowes. Just a 7-point margin has Sumner-Fred looking for some opportunities. Have really tightened up that Jesup defense to be more in the paint. Allowing Sumner-Fred some outside shots, but when you got the height and Isabella Elliott and the experience with 20 points per game, they're going to dish it to her as she now sits at 23. Third personal foul for Sumner-Fred and Meyer. A 5th total this half for the Cougars. Bowes to Bowes on the inbound. Cohagen has her handle on it now. Peyton, tight coverage from Meyer defensively. 24 seconds on that shot clock. Laney tries a 3. Nice rebound from Emma Bowes. And she will pick up a foul. That gives Jesup their 3rd team foul this half and the 3rd for Bowes. A little frustration after missing that shot resulted in her getting dinged on the foul side. 3:37 to play in this game. Cohagen going one-on-one with Zabel. No good. Pulled it down, up and in for Isabella Elliott. Cohagen, little assist to Emma Bowes, top of the key. Sumner-Fred really slowing that down. 3 minutes to go. 2-3 press for Jesup. And they're waiting for it was Elliott. She's at 27. Bowes left-handed dribble inside that paint. Going to draw the foul. Neither team in the bonus yet, but on that shooting foul, she'll get an opportunity to build on her total. The rim no good. Peyton Bowes, Sage Bain in to replace Cohagen and Sailor Youngblood. That one will go through. And that actually is Emma Bowes' first point of the game. She's been contributing to this team in other ways as she had to come in and take the position of Laney Pilcher when she got her 4th foul in that 3rd period. 15 on that shot clock. Sage challenging Elliott. 6 on that shot clock. Zabel goes in off that backboard, no good. Bolden with a rebound. Laney eyes up. I think they're going to give her the 3. Not sure if she was, like she was crossed that line, but we'll take it. 58-49, Lady Pilcher now with 22 total points for the Jayhawks. Leads this team. Again, didn't play much of that third period. Looking ahead on the girls' schedule. Can head over to Dyke New Hartford for that game coming up on Friday. They were at West Delaware yesterday, over in Manchester last night. Jesup in the bonus. Now there's Peyton Youngblood. Gets it to Laney. I don't know if I write Jesup off just yet. They continue to play some aggressive basketball as that ball comes out. Sage tried to save it, but was out of bounds. Meyer gets fouled by Emma Bowes. That'll be her 4th personal. 4th team foul for Jesup. Olivia Lang, point guard for the Cougars. Good ball handler. She tries to get that ball given to her on her way to the hoop. Pilcher decides she wants it instead because she wants to score. 24 points now for that senior for the Jayhawks. 58-51, approaching a minute. Timeout, full timeout. Won by Kevin Bergman, head coach of Sumner-Fredericksburg. In the last 5 games, Jesup has gone 3-2 with wins over Beckman, Hudson, and Wapsie Valley. Losing to West Delaware last night, 64-47. Lost to Owine just after break, 63-60 on this floor. Looking ahead beyond the Dyke New Hartford contest this coming Friday. As I stall as my internet is slower. Like Anthony throttled me back. Not many games left really when you look at it in the rest of the season. Next Tuesday, we'll be back on the Jayhawk Sports Network on the 24th as East Marshall will come to Jesup. Head up to Owine on the 27th on Friday. Got a Monday night road trip over to Appling at Parkersburg. Follow it up with a road trip to Union on the 31st. What should be another rivalry game, or it's always a rivalry game, but Wapsie Valley on the 3rd. And then Columbus will close out the girls' schedule on February the 6th as they will then get into postseason play. Sumner-Fred. Quick inbound, push from Zabel. And this is how the last minute's going to go. As Jesup trying to put the pressure on and force Sumner-Fred to the free throw line. Both teams are in the bonus. Hoping they missed some shots. Rebound into Elliott's hands, and Sumner-Fred will hang on to it. Emma Bowes has 4 personal fouls. She pulls back a little bit. And Adriana Bolden will step in, apply some pressure, draw a foul. That'll be her third personal, 8th for Jesup. Again, we will close out this broadcast shortly after that clock hits 0. Get ready for the boys' game. There'll be a different link on the YouTube channel as well as on Facebook. School got underway today for many, if not all, schools in the area. Jesup underway. Start the second semester. And we see Amaya Trayvon Boyd, a sophomore, coming in off the bench. Lenny Pilcher make her way back in that lineup. Maya didn't get too much time out there as Coach Conrad was making some adjustments. And that free throw comes through. Zabel with 3 total points to her name. Has contributed defensively and as well as the ball moving on the offensive end of things. Brielle Volker off the bench and trying to buy some time as they inbound that. Peyton Bowes for a 3, no good. Rebound to Elliott. 30-second mark, and Peyton Bowes will pick up her 2nd personal foul. Sumner-Fred in that double bonus. Right through there. Volker, I believe all her points tonight have come from the free throw line. As Coach Bergman pulls all of his players out of that lane, sends them to that backcourt. And here comes that Jesup offense. Laney looking to take it on her own, but gets it off to Emma Bowes, who banks it in for a 3. Take her to 4 total, 61-54. Never say die. They could change very quickly. We saw that early in the second quarter. Emma Bowes had 2 3-pointers in less than, I think, 20 or 25 seconds. That took Jesup to a 6-point margin. But this is going to give Coach Conrad, as takes advantage of this full timeout, to really look at a strategy and offensive play that could help solidify a potential opportunity for the Jayhawks. All right, break him out of the huddle. Foul in there. As we had some strategy, as Jordan had Amaya Trayvon Boyd in there, as well as Sage Bain looking to commit that foul. And then you're going to see Pilcher as well as Peyton Emma Bowes back in the game. Trying to get the rebound and quickly turn that thing around to get the other end of the floor. 28 points total now for Isabella Elliott. Solidifies another free throw. Peyton tried a fast break. Doesn't work here. 10 seconds to go. And that was Peyton Youngblood, I think, with a foul on that far side. Takes the other end of the floor. And that'll put Olivia Lang at the free throw line. Again, Coach Bergman, 10.7 seconds to go, has pulled the rest of his players out of that lane. Get them ready for defense, what could be coming their way. Missed the front of the free throw. No good. Clock's rolling. Shot clock is off. 3-point attempt. Lainey Pilcher comes up over that backboard. So out of bounds. And Sumner-Fred. And that'll be it. 63-54 is the final as Jesup will go down to defeat Isabel Elliott. 29-point leading scorer for Sumner-Fred. Leading scorer on the Jesup side of things, senior Lainey Pilcher, who averages almost 20, I think it's 25.5 points per game. She had 4 fouls as she closed out the ball game. Stand by, we will have the boys contest coming up here very shortly as the Jesup girls will go to 7-7 on the year, 2-3 in conference play. Sumner-Fred 9-3 overall, 5-0 in conference play as well, as they're in the driver's seat to win the NICL East. I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not, and like us on Facebook. Get our next broadcast for girls basketball coming up next Tuesday night with East Marshall right here on the Jayhawk Sports Network. For Anthony Baugh and Eric Clark, I'm Nate Clayberg tonight. Again, final score, Jesup losing 63-54 in girls basketball. This is the Jayhawk Sports Network from Heartland Technology. Music courtesy of bensound.com. Go Jayhawks, and we'll see you soon for boys basketball.